And a warm welcome to the program. This is Financial Markets, and you're watching the number one business channel in East Africa. Business, of course, is what we mean here at Smart 24, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And of course, you're joining me, of course, from Nile Avenue, and this is plot 42, where we are at the moment and presenting to you what's happening live here at Smart 24 TV. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It is a Wednesday, the 19th of October, and of course, markets are open, and as Financial Markets, we pledge to give you the latest information on the global financial markets, as well as the regional and local or domestic financial markets. Sporting for you, of course, some opportunities that could come along in these markets as well, for you to make sure you can make money off of your saving by putting them in worthy investments. Of course, the show is brought to you by Altex East Africa, your number one private stock exchange. This exchange definitely now in partnership with MTN Momo and their Zabu initiative are bringing you a very unique feature whereby now you can access the market via your mobile phone using USSD code *290#. Now, with this code, you can be able to buy or even sell different treasury bonds across East Africa. And we're talking about bonds in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And now they are accessible at the tip of your fingers by simply dialing *290#. The market at Altex East Africa opens at exactly 8:15 a.m. in the morning and closes a quarter past the hour of 3 p.m. East African Standard Time. Altex East Africa, do something new. Now, back to the markets. Today is an exciting day. Starting off with the U.S. market, Netflix is doing wonders on the stock market in Kenya, in U.S. And when you look at currently their share prices over the last 24 hours, the prices have accrued over 10% on the price there of Netflix. And this, of course, the company said it added about 2.41 million subscribers during the third quarter of the year 2022, surpassing Wall Street's estimate of just 1 million. That is an over 120% better performance that was registered by Netflix. Now, Netflix executives noting in the earnings release that after a challenging first half of the year, they believe that they are on a path to re-accelerate growth. And the key is pleasing the members. Netflix noted that the strong dollar as a headwind and estimates the greenback's appreciation negatively impact full year 2022 revenue by up to $1 billion United States dollars. Manhattan Venture Partners, that is the head of research, Mr. Santosh Raho, also noted that everything is working for Netflix, and the company is now launching the ad-supported tire from a position of strength. United Airlines, which is also another company that has made news on the U.S. stock market, had their shares jump by over 6% in a day yesterday, closing the day of trading. And in extended trading after the career beat both the top and the bottom lines, revenue reached up to $12.9 billion US on adjusted earnings per share of about $2.81 US. United Airlines was bullish on demand despite a slowing economy, saying it expects the COVID recovery trend to overcome recessionary pressures there on the United Airlines company. Also, Intuitive Surgical was also another company who gained on the US stock market yesterday. The shares of Intuitive Surgical gained after the robotic surgery giant reported third quarter revenue of over about 1.56 billion United States dollars, up 11% from a year ago, on adjusted earnings per share of about $1.19 US. The company also announced its repurchase of about $1 billion US of common stock in the third quarter of the year 2022. Also, J.B. Hunt is another company on the US stock market that has been making news. The company beat earnings on both the top and bottom lines during the third quarter, pushing their shares higher in extended trading. Operating revenue totaled up to $3.84 billion US, up about 22% from exactly a year ago, driven by by about 13% climb on a truckload volume that was registered on the company. Regarding the average performance of the US indexes, that is, of course, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000, we're looking at the S&P 500 at the moment at about 3,735.50 United States dollars, and it's up by about 0.07% in the last 24 hours. The Dow features, that is the Dow Jones, also has slightly declined just a couple of minutes ago by about 0.07%, and currently is at 30,554.00. The Nasdaq futures, another very prominent index on the US stock market, is currently at 11,232.5 US dollars, and a 0.3% appreciation has been realized in the last 24 hours. Russell 2000 has also gone down slightly by about 0.13%, and currently at 1,759.60 points. Crude oil has also accrued about 1.17 over the last 24 hours. That is a percentage gain, and currently at 83.79 United States dollars. Gold has gone down close to by about 0.78%, and currently at 1,642.90. There you have it for the US stock market at the moment. It's important that you get hold of these figures and numbers because they do influence whatever happens on the market in the world. It's the biggest economy. We're talking about the United States economy. Definitely the financial markets there in the United States have a lot to tell about the health of the economy worldwide. And if they're doing good, definitely there's a reason for us to actually also look forward to a better performance here on our own financial markets. Back to the Uganda Stock Exchange. Yesterday was quite a good day of trading, and we realized a good volume that was transacted on big counters, especially domestic here in Uganda. It can be attributed, of course, to the fund managers who are winding up the year, looking at the end of the fourth quarter rather, coming in strong with buying shares, especially in the local or domestic stocks here at the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now let's have a look at a detailed performance of what took place yesterday on the stock market here in Uganda. In total, we had about 6 listed equities participate in the trading on the second day of trading, that is Tuesday. And the day ended with 9 gainers. Impressively, there were no losers. Kudos, of course, to our market here. There was a good day of trading yesterday, and if you work, actually, I managed to go and visit one of the stock brokerage firms. It was a busy day. People are really very much intensifying their purchases on different stocks here in Uganda, especially the local stocks that have gained firm. Now, amongst the top 9 gainers is a new entrant on the gainers list, at least for the last 3 or 4 months. I haven't seen this guy come on top of the market. And it's, guess what? Cipla, Quality Chemical Industries, came as the topmost gainer there on the market, and leading the gainers by a margin of 5.52% appreciation in price that was registered at the Uganda Stock Exchange. Now, the company appreciated from over 65 Ugandan shillings per share to up about 68.59 Ugandan shillings per share. Now, Cipla is the only pharmaceutical company that is listed on the stock exchange. And of course, this has a lot it communicates to financial sector-based investors. They're really investors who are interested in investing in a particular sector in the stock market. And of course, the pharmaceutical industry here in East Africa has not been pretty much involved in the stock market. But at least for Cipla, it has been a good time for it. And of course, the company returned to profitability this year after the very first time it registered a profit since its listing in 2018. And so this is a very wonderful performance put up by Cipla after having gained close to 5.52% on their stock market. MTN Uganda was also another gainer on the stock market after appreciating close to about 1.02% on their stock price. And as well, he was followed by Kenya Airways, who also had a gain of about close to 0.07% on the stock market here in Uganda. Nation Media Group came in at a 0.06% share price appreciation as well. Looking at these cross-listed counters, of course, now coming in at the top gainers, but not being the topmost is very impressive at the moment. And of course, because we have most of the trading being done on the local stocks, this is very, very impressive at the moment to watch. In terms of the volumes, the truckload of volumes, the highest top mover was MTN after having recorded close to 1.05 million shares that were transacted on the stock market yesterday. MTN was closely followed by Bank of Baroda Uganda, who also came in with 1 million shares that were transacted on Bank of Baroda yesterday. Wumeme also came in with a big volume of 218,391 shares, as well as Stanbic Bank coming in as a top mover at 49,100 shares that were recorded. I'm telling you, it was quite a busy day of trading. I personally had an experience going to one of the stockbrokers and seeing how they're doing business. And it was a beehive of activity. The markets were pretty active. And this is what we dream about, especially on our Uganda Stock Exchange, that we can wake up and have figures moving in real time, just like the way we have them on the US stock market. That is exactly the goal, seeing more investors come on board and get our market going. Now, of course, the all-share index could not be left the same after this market activity that was registered on the market. We had about 3.73 points climb on the all-share index, which is the benchmark of the benchmark performance indicator of the Uganda Securities Exchange. The index moved up by 0.3% on the daily gains there and closed at 1,261.24 points at the end of Tuesday, the second day of trading, representing a 1-week gain of 3.44%. Still, we're looking at a positive trend on the weekly based performance. And in 4 weeks, we are still now calculating a gain of 1.13% as well. However, a year-to-date loss of 11.22% is still pending on the all-share index. Now, regarding the local company index, the LCI, and this tracks the average or aggregate performance of all the domestic equities, the 10 of them, that is Cipla, Stanbic, Bank of Baroda, and the like. The local company index increased by 0.77% and closed the day with about 273.37 points, making a 1-week gain of close to about 0.47% and a 4-week loss that we are counting about 0.15%. The year-to-date loss also reduced from 22% to closing at around 15.8% on the local companies. Kudos there to Uganda Stock Exchange. Of course, this is the market we want to see, but we cannot have this daily. This is one of those good days, which you come up and say, wow, this was a very good day. And it was a good day indeed of trading at the Uganda Stock Exchange. We're going to take a quick breather. When we return, you want to know about CIPLA and also other stocks in Nairobi and how the Nairobi market performed. You must stay with us. We'll be right back after this quick breather. Stay with us.